Hello and welcome back to the Two Cats, One Dog podcast. My name is Daniel Martin, and to my left on my couch here is Mason, the thinnest McGinnis. Say hi to your friends, buddy.
Hi, friends.
Hi. And then to his left is...
Jeffrey Lee Curtis.
Yes, that's right. Our co-host, Jeffrey Lee Curtis, in studio today. And we are, I want to say doing a roundtable episode, but it's more of like a round couch kind of thing that we're doing. And
we're kind of an L shape.
Yeah, it's
we
kind
are
of
the
an
Knights
L.
of the Round Couch.
We're Knights of the L couch, rather.
Yeah,
and today we're going to be looking at Reddit conspiracy. So we're going to go around the couch, and we are going to each take an article from our conspiracy, and I'll tell you, we'll announce it each time. We'll tell you how, but I'm going to take the top of today,
Okay.
and then Mason's going to have the top of this week, and then you're going to have the
month.
top of the year. Oh, top of the month. And then you're going to have top of the year.
Top of the
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm going to start with mine, which is my. I lucked out.
fucking nuts.
I really lucked out here.
We're starting off. With
We're
a
starting off
fucking
strong
banger.
with a 9/11 conspiracy, which is probably one of my personal favorites. I mean, I grew up. This is my bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
As like a conspiracy theorist, this is like the best. This is the introductory. If you're like a millennial, this is probably your first conspiracy. It's like 101. Okay.
What was Zeitgeist? Yeah, we watched
Zeitgeist, dude.
you know
I
what
want
mean?
to watch that so fucking
It's
bad.
been
I want to
so long.
rewatch it one of these days. But that's probably what opened the door for me and a lot of other people. And I remember my dad or my grandpa being really pissed off about it. He's like, "You watch that fucking trash on there." He's like very anti. He's like, "It's anti-American. It's a bunch of liberal bullshit kind of stuff." And he was a very liberal. I mean, he died anti-Trump liberal person, but he just he was like patriotic, kind of like the old school liberal. You know, like love this country, love that we can do whatever we want here. Let's keep it that way. But don't talk bad about the country. And to him, 9/11 conspiracy was talking bad about the country. So needless to say, I do think a lot of fishy stuff had happened that day. But I've got a very short article, so we'll just get through it and then we'll talk about it. But this just merely proposes the men who planted the bombs. And of course, we've got a picture here of the second tower being struck, which, by the way, the second tower did fall first, which a lot of people forget on that day, but the second tower did fall first. And then it pans over. The next picture in here is of one of the supposed Israeli art students that were in the building just hours before the attack. This is at 5:53. So the first plane struck the building at like 8:11 or like 8:13 or something like that. So this is just a couple hours before.
I can pull that up.
And let's say one of the conspiracy theories is true about the whole controlled demolition. The poster says the men who planted the bombs are still alive to this day, or worse, American men planting the bombs and killing innocent Americans committing terrorism against Americans. Maybe it's time for another revolution and hold our government accountable. Now, of course, our first your response is art students. That's the top comment from a little bit from Chef Elvis OG.
8:46 a.m.
8:46. So this is taken literally 2 hours before that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 3 hours. And of course, then we got the buildings were a huge asbestos liability. They had to come down, but that would cost a fortune. By letting terrorists fly into the building preloaded for demolition, the event could solve several problems at once, which would be the buildings are now down, no cost to the owners. Larry Silverstein, who's the owner of the towers, gets a big insurance payout. Do you remember learning about that live on the podcast? Like we were preparing for an episode and you didn't realize that somebody owns the towers.
Right.
Remember, you were like, how could somebody just own the towers? It's like, no, that's just how it works. Like somebody owned the building. Yeah, Larry Silverstein owned the building.
Gotcha.
And about 6 months before the attack, he took out a huge policy for a terrorist attack. Like in the event of a terrorist attack, it would pay out like some fucking crazy number, and it did. I mean, he got paid over $1 billion for those towers after they came down, and the thing is people cite that the World Trade Center was always a target, right? It's always a target. It got attacked in the 90s by bin Laden's people, and they kind of assumed it would be attacked again. So that was kind of the reasoning behind getting full-blown terrorist insurance on it. But it was fishy timing. And we'll also just, I don't know how verified this is, but apparently Mr. Silverstein always had breakfast at a restaurant on like the 97th floor or something like that on the North Tower. Didn't go that day. We went every other fucking day of the work week, Monday through Friday. Didn't go that day. and it's just kind of, I mean, it's odd
That's
shit.
a little odd.
There's a little, I mean, and we're not going to get into it because we're cherry picking stuff right now. So I don't have the shit right in front of me as far as the whole conspiracy.
We should
but
do a deep dive on that.
we should do a deep dive on 9/11. We will absolutely. We'll probably do it for the Patreon. But there's a lot of people that just missed a flight that day. Seth MacFarlane, he was hungover. He was hungover that day, missed his flight, and that's why we have Family Guy now. Is because he didn't die. Same thing with My Chemical Romance. They were Gerard Way was scheduled to have one of the flights, and he missed it for some other reason. And now we have that. He decided once he saw that the plane that he was supposed to be on going to the tower, he said, "Fuck my office job, fuck my life. I'm doing what I want to do." And yeah, there's a lot of weird shit. I even heard that MJ was supposed to be on one of the flights and didn't, because he would do business once in a while. I don't want to say a lot, but he did business once in a while there. You have to imagine there's a lot of money being held there. So people with a lot of money went to the World Trade Center.
It's one of the richest cities in the world.
Yeah, well, it's on top of being New York and on top of being where we have the UN, on top of all this shit. I mean, it's also a spot where you're trading currency, silver, gold, all that stuff. So there's a lot of important people coming in and going.
Stuff is happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's a happening spot, you could say.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of responding here. This is basically just in case anybody hasn't picked up. I mean, this is a very short post, but it's basically someone just saying, like, look, there's people who they're subscribing to the controlled demolition conspiracy, which I'm sure I don't have to explain to our viewers or anybody, but that's the idea that somebody planted bombs slowly planted bombs and thermite in the I believe the elevator shafts of both the towers in the weeks leading up to the attack. Again, this is not verifiable. Like, I can't source this information, but apparently there is unknown teams working in there, coming in white vans, like working late at night on the elevators. And it would kind of make sense if you think about it. You'd want to spot it like that to have the maintenance be done when there's little to no people working on a skeleton crew.
Right.
You'd want to do stuff like that. So it does kind of explain itself. But apparently there's a lot of Israeli and art students that's what they always say. And again, I don't fucking know how real it, and a lot of this does come down to you go deep enough into a conspiracy and you're probably going to run into some anti-Semitic shit. So and how the Jewish cabal is in control of everything. And that's certainly present in this one, because there's the whole dance. Do you guys know about the dancing Israelites? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
There's actual footage. I mean, there's video footage. I've seen it. I don't know if I could find it again because this is old internet that I saw this on. But there's footage of you could see the smoking towers in the distance, and there's a van full of Israeli or Middle Eastern looking people dancing, and it's supposed to be Israeli, because at that point it does matter what kind of brown they are to us, to the whoever's going to make assumptions there. But yeah, they were supposed to be Israeli and people dancing and being happy, because that's the real conspiracy at the very nut of all of this. Again, I don't know what happened on this day. I do think something fishy did happen. What my personal thoughts, I mean, maybe I've said it before on the podcast, I don't know, but I think that we, similarly to Pearl Harbor, knew something was going to happen and we let it happen because it would benefit us. I think that explains pretty much everything to me. That, and is it gross? Absolutely, but it requires a lot less. Some people go really far. They're there was no planes. These were decoys. They were RC. People got paid off and they landed the plane somewhere else and they went into hiding forever. I mean, it gets wild, dude. I've spent some time in these conspiracies, and I'm telling you, dude, it's usually not very pretty. But the main accepted one is that Israel brought it down. It was an Israel inside job. And why? It gets really complicated. I mean, and it makes zero sense if we were going to be completely fucking
get us
honest.
To invade their neighbors?
Right? I guess because we did, but we also did before. It's not you need much of an excuse for the U.S. to go invade Kuwait or Iraq or Iran. I mean, we pretty much will do it at the drop of a hat. They smell oil, and we got fucking troops going there. So, I mean, how many times have we false flagged our way into a war? So that's why people point to this as being another one of those. Look at the Gulf of Tonkin. That was they're killing the babe. They're throwing the babies out of incubators. They're eating babies. They're killing babies. Does that sound familiar? I mean, they said that shit about Hamas.
Sure does.
They said that shit about Hamas. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but it's it's kind of the same thing over and over again. And we know for a fact, Gulf of Tonkin was a false flag. That woman was lying. She was proven, she was, I believe, found guilty of perjury because she lied in a federal fucking court about that stuff. And So it's really hard to say, but my personal thing is like they probably just let this shit happen. But other people's thing goes as far as like Israel having people come in there and plant bombs, or us like being involved, like us letting Israel do it because we would get involved with a Middle Eastern conflict, and it is just fucking insane. I don't think that we would blow up our own building, but I think we are above that, but I don't think we're above letting something happen and just turning the other cheek. We also had what's the chances of having a fucking terrorist attack scrambling exercise happening at the same fucking time?
Right.
It's never been that exercise had never been done before that day, like that specific one where like there's multiple hijackings happening across the country, but they were running that exact exercise on that day.
Yeah.
So that therefore adding to the confusion when it actually happened. I mean, again, it's almost like you can't write that shit. It's like so fucking on the nose.
So yeah, I guess there's two ways you could look at it, right? So like either like that
We
is,
knew when
that
we were
is evidence
preparing.
that we knew, or that's evidence that they knew.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I don't know, maybe that it like.
Somebody knew
And
something.
Occam's razor says that it's probably they knew that an attack was coming, but maybe they didn't know what day, and they just it was like the most poorly planned military exercise in the world. You know what I mean? In the history of military exercises, because think about what could have been a more confusing situation than like you don't even know what the fuck is this a simulation? It's just like real. We're running this right now. Are you fucking with me? So. Yeah, and I don't know. Do you guys want to go through some more comments here? Do you want to move on to the next conspiracy? I mean, what do y'all think about it?
There's just a lot of coincidences to everything, with the owner not being there. I mean, that's a big one.
Someone that's there every day that's not
That's there every day,
just for some odd reason they had like something going on that day.
and they went AWOL that day or something. That just, I don't know.
We're talking about a person who
there's
probably missed
plenty
most of their family's life for work.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay. One thing that I want to add is I don't know if this is true or not, but I did see this in a video, in one of the videos. Watch when the plane hits. Like seriously, watch when it actually hits. Watch the base of the building. Everybody's looking at the plane, obviously.
Oh yeah, well I
want to
could.
know how. Like it could be. The
I think it's
gas,
pressure. I think it's pressure.
the
Yeah,
pressure.
I think it's
Like,
pressure all blow because it has to blow up or down.
Yep, exactly. And like at
'Cause
the
it's
very
contained.
base of the building, there's a bunch of different like explosions that
Yeah.
happen.
And personally, I think that was the pressure coming down.
Yeah,
but
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. But I don't know. There's just that was another one.
there
that I
was
saw.
explosions. There's people that reported explosions at the bottom of the like people that survived because there's people that were in the lower part of the buildings were able to get out. And another interesting thing, they were telling people to stay in the buildings. I don't know how much you guys realize that, but they were telling people to stay in.
Oh, really?
Isn't that horrific? Like knowing that how that ended, knowing that both those buildings came down in their own footprint.
Yeah.
That people were being cautious, be like, okay, let's go, let's get the fuck out of here. And they're like, no, just stay calm, stay. You ever think about that? The idea of authority.
They're just, trying to keep widespread panic from setting in. You know
They
what I
are,
mean?
but what they did is they condemned a lot of people to death,
Yeah.
and I think about that a lot when I'm in positions where I'm supposed to listen to a person of authority, and it's like, well, is this really like, do I listen to my gut instinct or do I listen to this fucking asshole with a security badge that makes $12 an hour? Like that, it might be power tripping, right? Or maybe they are trying to do something good, but even with good intentions, you're trapping people in a fucking building that is coming down. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what happened. They doomed a bunch of people. So well intended or not, I mean, I would want to get if something like that. Because that's what I always think about if I was in that situation.
So horrible.
It's
seeing,
horrible.
like, the
And
people jumping out of the
yup.
building
Well, I was
too,
gonna
man.
say the people that were above, and that's the thing. Is like, so if you're below, you had somewhat of a chance, but still, you have to imagine the amount of chaos. I mean, the building just got hit by a fucking fully loaded 747. That's insane. It's insane. It just, we can't comprehend it. Some people were vaporized instantly, just instantly. Probably hundreds of people, well, over hundreds at least, instantly vaporized, gone. And then so the people above that, they can't get down because everything's now disconnected. They've lost power. I bet all the alarms are going off, all the sprinklers and everything. It's total chaos. They probably can't see hardly anything. And then there's a hole in the fucking building and the air sucking out of it because of how high they are in the air. I mean, it's a huge tower. And it's just, I can't imagine like that shit, watching that shit go down as like a 7-year-old, even though it was on TV or whatever, it fucked me up. I think about that. I'm like, it's probably why I have a healthy fear of like planes and heights, is it just respecting that fucking the sheer chaos and anxiety of that day.
Yeah.
And just, and watching those the people flick off the top of the building. Yeah, it's horrific, man. I did see one thing about a guy who actually tried to climb his way down. He tried to shimmy because obviously, like I mentioned, they're disconnected, so you can't go through that stairwell. If you're in the floors above that got hit, there's no down for you anymore. Down is no longer an option. It's either out or burn with the building. Those are your two fucking. There's literally no survival, and that's the craziest thing. Is because sometimes you like to think there's some kind of way out of a situation. But that one, there's none. There's just none. There's literally none. It's just choose your death, So one guy who had mountain climbing experience actually did try to climb out. I mean, he went to the outside and you could see him. There's footage. He made it down.
Yeah, I've seen this
Yeah,
video.
it's fucking crazy, dude. He made it down a few, I think 10 stories.
Holy
and then
shit.
he lost his fucking grip. And it was probably, they theorize it's about the time that the second building got hit. So imagine the force. You're outside, or already there's high winds because you're outside of a fucking 90 floor, out just free, outside, just hanging on for dear life. And then another plane slams in the building next to you. The force of that was probably enough, a shockwave just to throw him right off.
The shockwave enough.
Yeah. I mean, even if he had balls of steel, like, and didn't move or flinch, there's no way his body just stood still when that second building got hit. So, and then how long did he have to climb down until the shit collapsed? Can you imagine being on the side of it and just hearing, and then just the thing collapses
Just
while you're
topless.
on the outside of it. Fuck, man. There's just no way. There's just no good outcome.
No.
So like, I really feel, and when I talk about this stuff and, 9/11 conspiracies, I hope nobody takes it as like a, like, I take all this with like a heavy hand. Like, it was a scary thing. It was crazy to watch. I mean, sure, we're going to crack jokes here and there. Every American has, because it's called gallows humor. It's how we deal with a horrible thing happening, especially to our people and such. But yeah, it was fucking nuts, dude. It was fucking nuts. And it fucked everybody up for life. It's like that one bit in The Office where like Ryan's trying to get out of trouble for something he did. And he's like, I never really processed 9/11. It's like, dude, actually facts. So we're gonna go to the next one, top of the month. We're top of the month for you.
Yeah, top
Is that what you
of
got?
the
Okay,
month, yeah.
hit us with. I'm gonna make a drink. You can start talking. Okay.
Oh my god, dude. Okay.
What do you got for us? It's the Epstein thing, right?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm so
well,
excited.
kind of. It's the Elon thing.
Oh, Elon. Well, there's with Elon, you have Epstein.
Yeah, it all. So this is a very big deal. What the hell kind of system are we living in if thousands of kids were abused? The government has videos of the abusers, and yet none of the abusers are even facing charges. And then that's Elon posting on X, Twitter, or whatever you want to call it now. But seriously, he said Epstein half a dozen times while telling everyone to stop talking about Epstein. Just release the files as promised.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. But for as far as this posting went on this post. But the top 1% commenter, we don't have a civilization if we can't protect the most innocent and vulnerable. 1,000% on this. Well, by that definition, civilization has never existed. Yeah, this protecting the innocent and most vulnerable has been an illusion the entire time. Civilization really kicked off once people started exploiting the most vulnerable and innocent.
It really kicked off once we started doing that.
Yeah.
Started exploiting. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I would argue nature does, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just even human. I think that's animal.
And then another top 1%er is it's almost as if there's more than one person on that list in Washington.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's for fucking true. That's for true.
Yeah,
man.
most of the
That's for
top
true.
brass in both parties and all their donors. There's a...
Yeah, well, what are your thoughts on what do you think it was going on with the Epstein stuff?
Nothing good.
Well, I thought it was all good stuff. I thought it was like all positive, like they're raising money for kids, right? Isn't there something with for, like kids sexual, like it was to raise awareness for like kids undergoing like tough times and stuff, right? Isn't that what it was all about?
Yeah.
It's fucking it's absolutely disgusting.
Horrible.
And it's one of those things that and we're going to kind of get into the topic as we close out today, which will be in a while, but of the idea of conspiracies that have turned out true, and we've kind of brought this up in the pod before, but that's one of them, and such a big one that I think it shakes our foundation to its fucking core.
Oh, no doubt.
Because I do truly think that people on both sides of the aisle are on that list, and that's why we don't have it. I mean, here's a quick timeline of events too. I mean, Epstein died in 2019, so that was when Trump was president. And then there's 4 years that Biden was president. We didn't hear fucking shit.
Nope.
And then, but the whole time the right was very loud and proud about it, which, I'll give them a bone on that one. Yeah, we need to know. We need to know. And if we have that information, I do understand it probably takes a year or 2 years to collect everything, go through everything, make sure the victims are protected so they're not being re-victimized. Absolutely. Take a year or two on that. But year or two came and went, and then 3 years, and then 4. So this whole time, like a fucking rabid dog, the right is running with this Epstein list stuff, which again, they seemingly forgot that, Epstein did die under their boys' care. I mean, it was Trump. The Trump should have seen to it that he was under better protection, you know what I mean, or under a better suicide watch, whatever you want to fucking call it. That is someone that should have been kept alive because they had necessary information. So that is a major slip up on their administration. I do know that I know that I think it was Kash Patel that made an appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, who's a podcaster themselves, and is now the FBI, like the head of the FBI. And they went on there and said that that maximum security prisons aren't really that safe. It was crazy. I remember, because I didn't listen to the full episode, but I listened to someone that was reacting to it, and I listened to they took the whole chunk, so it wasn't taken out of context, and it was literally him talking about how you would expect a security to be a safe place to keep a prisoner, but it's more designed to keep people in rather than people out. So if there's bad actors or people that's what he was trying to open the door. He was trying to basically take the blame off of people, the guards, off of the whole system, being like, look, we're just here holding bad people, and then if something happens to him, something happens to him. That's essentially what he was saying. That dude went on to become the head of the fucking. That should really disturb you. People should be, when you're in prison, you should be fucking protected from the outside as well, because you obviously have sensitive information that people want to come and fucking silence you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I always kind of look at Epstein as being like. It was like the poster with 20 knives pointed at a dude. He's probably someone that had 15, 20 different agencies / people that wanted him dead because of the information that he had. So theoretically, he was probably the most unironically the most important person to protect for a while, besides the actual sitting fucking president at a time. Yeah. You would think you'd want to keep him alive at all costs, considering the amount of people that wanted him dead. Because it's my theory, and maybe we'll get into a mini conspiracy theory here, that Epstein started as a asset for the CIA or the FBI, probably the CIA, because they do more foreign affairs, and that he was likely used because this guy was an elementary school teacher, and I think a substitute teacher at that. I don't even think he was a full-time teacher. I don't know what the fuck. The guy had no financial literacy. I don't think he even had a college degree. He might have had some kind of certification or something, but the guy had no business touching hands with millionaires and billionaires, and as far as he got there, is fucking suspicious as hell to me. He had no reason. So I truly think he was an asset I think he got used by the CIA or whatever to be used as a honeypot to entrap people. So he went, that meaning he would probably went around the world with Russia, fucking UK, especially the UK. Look at all the shit with Prince Andrew and what's the other dickhead? Andrew and Andrew II. Who cares?
Yeah,
Charles. Charles and Andrew.
Charles.
So, I mean, look at the amount of people wrapped up in this shit. I guarantee you he was used as a fucking honeypot to go around and get blackmail on world leaders, high-ranking officials, people that are in high positions, that he's compromising people on a world stage. And then after doing that for 15, 20 years, he's probably building up his own database to use against people using him. Mm-hmm. So it becomes like one of those fucking whack spy movies where it's really heady, and you're like, I don't know who's using who, but you're all fucking awful.
Yeah.
And I think that's genuinely kind of a small version of what played out in front of us. And then what happened is he had multiple people wanting him dead because now he's crossed a lot of people, and he has information on so much. It's called a double agent. I mean, I don't have to explain that to you guys. And I think that's what happened with Epstein. And we're now having news come out that he was fearing for his life because he said that Trump wanted him dead. He's like, Trump is going to have me killed. Then what happened? He died. And who else that would have one of the biggest interests to have him killed than his former best fucking friend? And they can't have, and it's not like there's no reason to deny that they were good friends, because they were like on just everywhere together for 12 fucking years, best friends. You can't deny it. And then you could, if anything, if you're a Trump, you should get ahead of it and be like, yeah, I started noticing that he was creepy, and I wanted to cut all ties with him. You could say that, but he doesn't. He just tries to deny the fact that he was even friends with him to begin with. And it's like, dude, we have pictures and video and audio
Birthday
and all
cards that you
birthday
wrote.
cards that you signed with gross little things. And like, oh my God, it's just so much irrefutable evidence. You could at least be like, yo, I saw you, like, I did hang out with them, but as soon as I saw that shit, I was like, yo, you gotta go.
Right.
That would be the smart thing to do if you were a piece of shit, but apparently he's not even smart enough to do that. So sorry, I didn't mean to take away from your article about Epstein.
bro. But no, I knew you were going to, not like in the bad way.
No, yeah, just take it where it needed to go.
Yeah, you took it right where we needed.
Yeah, well, it's like, what do you think? Do you think they're all compromised? Because I think Clinton will go down too, and I'm fine with that. And that's, I think, what people don't think about people that might be more left leaning or like center or left to center or whatever, is that like we think that we'll be afraid that our boy's going to go down. Dude, if Obama's in the list, let him go down. If fucking Clinton's on the list, let him go down. Let her go down. Anybody that's on that list,
If Mr.
Podesta,
Rogers is on the fucking list, dude.
throw him in the wood chipper, bro.
Keanu Reeves.
Throw him in the dude.
If
End of
they're
that
on
fucking
the
to hell with him.
list, it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter who you
Release
are.
it.
You release it. And now
Just
we're
do it.
And we
said
don't have the real list, because I don't know if you guys have seen, but Pam Bondi has now officially redacted Trump's name everywhere in the files, along with probably other people, and it's been it's permanently redacted now. So unless other people break chain of command and release an unofficial version of it, which then they could just easily say is a fake version, then now we're now it's done. Like, we're kind of done. And actually, I was listening to the Philip DeFranco podcast. He had some guy on there that he was like some ginger that yells and screams. Is Pearl something?
Pearlmania 5000.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He seems like a cool dude. I don't know. I mean, I don't agree with everything he has to say, but seems like he's at least to like hold to his values and has some integrity, at least on the camera, on the surface, seems to have some integrity. But he was kind of talking about the idea that Trump's administration likes to use what's called, it's like a 3-week cycle. Right. So that means by the beginning of the 4th week, that the 3rd week ends, that anything, no matter fucking what, it could be a world level event, a war, anything, by the 3rd week, by the 4th week, it's kind of done. It's not a story anymore. So basically he's trying to bury it by what happened right after people pressed him about that. Oh, MLK Jr. files randomly dropped. Okay, cool. So now we got that to look out. What about those files? And then by then he's also doing shit with fucking the Sweeney Todd or
what's her name?
With the Edward Scissorhand things. I don't know, the chick with the blue jeans that's racist, I guess.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if she's like
Sydney
racist.
Sweeney.
There we go.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I don't even know who
actually,
that is. I
just
generally
started
don't
reading
know
about
who
this.
she is.
She's an actress who was in Euphoria. Yeah.
Okay,
Euphoria.
watched it.
Me neither.
No,
Because I think it was like a
She's
teen
in,
drama kind of thing.
Shitty's knockoff Spider-Man movie.
Oh.
Adam Webb.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she was in that thing.
Yeah,
I heard that was awful.
I didn't watch it.
Man,
She was
movies
on
kinda suck
season 1 of White Lotus, which is actually really.
See,
good
I've never
show.
watched
really
White
good show.
Lotus. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Then she's hot. She's got big old boobies.
She seems like a nice lady. I don't
She
know.
does. She seems great. But like
Cool.
that's
I
that's
seen a
the
video of she owns like a old classic like fucking like O.J. Simpson fucking Bronco.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I knew. It was funny. Is I knew someone else that had one too. An actual white like '92 Bronco.
Like, apparently, like built it back up and restored it. And she
Yeah.
did it by herself. So
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
cool.
I don't know much about her, but I'm starting to gather that she's kind of a farm country girl.
I think so.
So it's like, why would you be surprised if she's fucking conservative? You know, I don't agree
Yeah,
with
that's
like the
true.
MAGA shit, but like literally, it's like, okay, next up on the news, the sky is blue. It's like, come on, are we really? She's a blonde white bitch from the South that knows how to fix her own cars. You really think she's voting for a liberal? Come on now.
There you go.
So, all right, should we move on to your conspiracy?
Oh, we can.
You got best of the year, didn't you?
Yeah. Best
well,
of the
I
year.
did, but
Best in show?
But the thing is like top of the year is just more Epstein stuff.
Okay,
Right.
well, go to the go to the
Right?
next one.
So just go to the next one. Okay.
Epstein.
Well, it's important.
It's important to people. We want to know if there's fucking pedos in the government.
Okay, this is kind of interesting. I don't want this. This isn't it. But like number
Just give
two,
us a little
number two,
flashback.
it's a picture.
Hit us with it, man.
The guy that is Luigi Mangione that they captured isn't actually him. It's just he's just
Oh, I do like that.
That's
He's
a
just a
good
patsy.
one.
Put a pin in it. Put a pin in it. Okay. Unless you want to talk about that one. What's your top?
I mean, we could have.
You
I
wanna
hadn't really
ta-
thought about it before, but
It's up to you, dude. This is your story, buddy.
it is.
So what's happening here is, of course, we're all. I took top of the day or week. You took top of the month,
Yep.
and then he's taking top of the year from Reddit, our conspiracy. But we don't want to just do the same ones over and over. So we're trying to find one that's maybe a little different. So we're kind of bending the rules.
A little bit.
But you can't go too far. The audience is gonna
little bit.
now. The audience knows that you're just trying to cherry pick.
It's true. I am cherry picking. But okay, so this is one.
okay, we
This
can
is
cut
one
it
that I
out.
actually
No, we can't. We're not cutting anything.
one that I have thought about. Right, and it's a
all
meme.
staying in.
It's a meme with what's his name? Damn it,
Dane Cook.
we gotta cut this. Yeah, it's Dane Cook.
Okay.
It says, "Me when I thought recycling would save the world, and me after I found out that plastic corporations invented plastic recycling to put the responsibility onto the consumer, even though they both knew plastic recycling was both chemically and financially not feasible. And now I have plastic in my brain, lungs, and testicles."
That's real though. That's
Right?
real.
No, exactly.
crazy.
That's why it kind of caught my eye, because like this is something that
That is fucking wild.
ever since I used to work at Dow, right? So I used to work in chemical manufacturing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, one of the big things that stood out for me when I was working there is just how much fucking shit we make that just gets thrown away.
Just thrown away
Just gets thrown
immediately,
into a
too.
dumpster. And I only worked at, that's just one plant. And there are dozens and dozens of plants in the Dow site in Midland,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So just the one plant that I was working on, we were throwing away just dumpsters and dumpsters and dumpsters full of just shit product that doesn't turn out. And it's just going to dumps. Just and so at the time I was like, and you know, like I remember we were working on, you know, just trying to be better about recycling, you know, making sure we're separating out all of our plastics and our glasses and making sure that we're just trying to waste as little as possible. And then here I am working for this chemical company and we're just fucking, it doesn't matter. We're just polluting the shit out of the planet right now. You know what I mean?
Like,
And so I kind of agree with that maybe the entire idea was made up by the manufacturing companies.
Oh, it entirely
to put
was.
the impetus for recycling, like put the burden for saving the planet
on the consumer,
onto the consumer,
even though they
right?
have the methods of production.
Which I mean, on one hand, it is on us, right? Because we buy the shit.
We're the ones buying it.
If we didn't buy it, they wouldn't make the shit,
Right.
right? So it is on us, but at the same time,
it's a living thing. It's
Yeah.
almost becomes a living thing
Yeah.
it is totally like demand. It's like, so we demand stuff, so then people make stuff, but when people make stuff, they don't always get it right. Stuff doesn't always go right. So a lot of times when you buy something, there's probably been 4 versions of it made already.
there's a train.
No, that ain't that's like a
Oh, that
that's
was
just
a
a loud
shitty
truck. Yeah. But so, you know, it's like there's probably how many versions of that, even that specific one. It's like maybe 3 of them got tossed before you got that one, and
Yeah.
it's a crazy amount. And then you think about, like, me not using a straw the one time a week I go out probably isn't going to make that much of a difference, you know. But it kind of does, because again, if you start shifting the tide of like, hey, showing like the companies like, hey, we don't want this anymore, that it might be able to kind of show a message. But what's really changed in the past 40 years? And I don't want to go off on another tangent here, but I was talking to you about this the other day. How I think I'm 32, and I think I just came onto this conclusion that nothing changes. Like we've seen like all this stuff in front of me, right? We have got these wireless cameras and a fucking laptop and, you know, my smartphone and all this stuff, all this great technology. And that's awesome. And sure, we're on social media now, but what's really changed? Well, if you think about from when we were in the 90s, like what the problems were in the world. So we had climate change, school shootings, and the war in the Middle East. And then fast forward 30 years. And what problems do we have? We have climate change, school shootings, war in the Middle East, coupled with extreme inflation, energy crisis, like just all this stuff, literally the same shit we were dealing with in the 90s.
I think it was, it's got to do with technology big time, because we had enough to improve, we had technology to improve our life, and now we kind of just let it consume it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, I think is a big thing for me, like, personally, like
Trying to step away from technology a little bit.
and social media. and just those types of constructs that are just irrelevant to what we should be focusing on in our
Well, I
daily
think there's a
lives.
lot of shit. I got in a
And
pretty,
I'm guilty of it too.
oh,
I
I'm
mean,
chronically
fucking-
online.
yeah,
I mean, I'm chronically online.
I'm online all the time watching stupid videos and like
But some of it's
playing video
beautiful, dude.
games, too. Like,
Sometimes I sit here and have the. I mean, if I would have think where my life would be without the internet, and I'm not saying it would be better, worse, or anything, but it's like I've had a lot of great moments, dude. Sometimes I split my sides laughing at some shit that if it wasn't for the internet, I never would have seen.
Oh, no doubt.
I actually have a whole compilation of like when one time we're just gonna get together and just watch some of my saved videos and just try not to like fucking die laughing. It's like there's some crazy shit out there that it's just like it's so beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's the internet, you know. And then there's some other shit that just drives you. You become glued to it, and then and sure that's a problem. But I guess what I'm almost proposing though is like even you peel that away and don't even think about that. Nothing has changed. Like our society is the same. Over and over and over. We just go through these cycles and we repeat. Our economy crashes. We fucking have these societal like differences. We clash every couple of years. We think we kind of build up and then we clash and we, you know, it's like this same fucking cycle over and over again. I wonder who's ever going to like step in and like kind of break it a little bit because I just as being an observer, I've seen a lot of politicians promise a lot of things and nothing change. I mean, again, inflation all-time high, national debt all-time high. Fucking the economy sucks. The fucking environment sucks. People are literally mass shooting every single day, and I think it's only gotten worse. So it's like, what policies are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What have you been doing for 40 fucking years? Nothing. You've
really
done
good
fucking nothing.
question.
You've done nothing. And that's kind of where I've decided. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. You all suck ass. You've done nothing. You failed this country. You should be ashamed. If you are a fucking congressman, senator, I don't care which one of you are. You should be fucking ashamed of what you've let this country. You've sold us all out. And there, I think there's like, I could probably count 5 of them on my hand between Congress and Senate that actually give a fuck. That actually try. And a lot of them are fucking nuts. And like the ones that actually do care. They're nuts. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. We're kind of stuck in a really weird spot, but I don't know. I just kind of hit me as much as I bitch about like, and I'll talk about conspiracies and this and that. And it just kind of hit me like a fucking tsunami. I was like, nothing has changed. We're all just sitting here and getting upset about the same shit. Like no one solves a fucking thing.
Yeah, the names are different, but the themes are
the exact
consistent.
same. Nothing's changed. I mean, it's just crazy to me that people like standing up and taking a stand in like the 90s. Oh, I'm going to come up here and with this bill, you know, we're going to make sure we're going to see to it that not another one of these tragedies happen again. How many thousands of fucking tragedies ago was that? You think? Fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
Pathetic. I just think, and I think it's time we need to start just calling these people out for what they are. They're traitors. I mean, again, just ineffective traitors. And I almost think that it's almost a bipartisan, and that's maybe the real conspiracy. The idea of just bouncing problems from administration to administration back and forth and then playing the blame game for fucking 4 to 8 years while you try to rally up your next campaign. Maybe that's just not that good for us as a society. Maybe that doesn't move us anywhere because it feels like, again, I'm just trying to point out the fact that I'm not trying to be hateful on the right or the left, other than the fact that I just feel like we've stalled. We've completely stalled. It seems like we were building up towards something in the 90s. Like we had this hope, like we were being accepting, and it started to not matter what color you were or what was in your pants or who you fucked or who you sucked. And it just kind of like, okay, let's just not care about this. Let's just build a better world. You know, let's go have Star Trek. Let's go explore the fucking get along and get explored. It seemed like we're building up towards that. And then something kind of snapped, and then we've just plateaued ever since then. And it's just been a little inch forward, 2 inches back ever since then. We've never solved a fucking thing. I mean, if having a mass shooting on the news every other fucking day isn't evidence enough that nothing will ever change in this country, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess that's kind of where I'm at, is like, I feel tired and upset. And I really hope that someone in this generation could stand up and change something. And the best we got now is he might as well be the next devil in charge. You know what I mean? He's awful. You guys ever seen much about this guy, Gavin Newsom? He's like the embodiment of like the greasiest fucking make a deal with the devil used car salesman you've ever seen.
Governor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's greasy, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
He fucked his campaign manager's wife on campaign for mayor and then admitted to it. Like, this guy sucks, dude. He's awful. But he's like the only one who'll play hardball with like Trump. He'll like, if he calls him a pussy, he'll call him a pussy right back. And he's like the only Democrat that'll do it, which is just so disappointing because he sucks. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to go on a rant how I think I don't. But do you guys agree? Like, do you ever have? Does that like? Am I crazy for thinking that? Like,
no, I don't think
No,
so. But
not at all.
I think maybe like just might have to do with age too. You know what I mean? Because when you're younger, you know, you tend to be more hopeful, and it feels like when you're young. Look at what, you know, when you're in your teens and like early 20s and shit. Like it seems like you're at the forefront, you know what I mean, of culture. Like you,
well, because you kind of are.
yeah, exactly.
You kind of get to decide
like,
what happens.
Yeah, like you're a part of the zeitgeist. You know, you are on the bleeding edge of the culture and the way things are changing, and you're able to stay on top of it. But then, like, we're starting to get older. We're in our 30s now, and I think like we are just noticing
the same patterns.
that
and stuff.
exactly. We're just kind of seeing it all repeat.
I do think
Kinda
that
over and
humanity
over.
has a way of fucking itself, like kicking itself in the shin.
Yeah.
Like I think humanity as a whole. I don't think I'm going beyond the scope rather of like Americans or whatever nationality you are. I do think we have always been slaves to ourselves. Do you guys ever watch Attack on Titan?
Fucking love Attack on Titan.
No.
No? Do you have a story there?
I tried it, man. Like I told
When's the last time you tried? How long ago?
it
Was
was years ago.
You
I
should
would
try it again.
I'll try it.
Try it again. I was only bringing it up because I love the theme. The theme of that show is very simple. It's just don't give up. Don't ever give up. Even when it looks like you will, like there's no way you'll win.
I get that concept. I've watched Dragon Ball Z.
Hell yeah.
No, they didn't do it as right. They didn't do it right. No, I'm just kidding. They did it. They did it fine in there. But
They did great.
but I love that. I've been like watching. I've been watching a lot of that and stuff too lately. But it's like it's like I do feel like humanity has this like just kind of like in that show, because that show takes place over like thousands of years is kind of the point. And I do think humanity has kind of been like locked, like shackled to itself in a way that it's like we can't get away from our own tendencies. You know, we tend to pick on the weak and exploit them, and we tend to let people rise to the top and just take from the rest, and we just think it's okay. Like I don't know what we just repeat this over and over again. Is it really different from kingdoms and serfdoms?
Yeah,
How much
no, not
different is
really.
it? I mean, sure, I'm comfortable. I have my internet. I'm probably the best taken care of serf in the history of serfs, but still a serf.
Yep.
I still can't just stop doing, like I say, I can't stop going to work. If I stop going to work, this all goes away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they're fine taking that away from me. In fact, they're pretty fucking happy doing that.
Yeah.
The bank loves getting your shit. They love it. They're like a huge fan.
They can make money off of it.
Well, do you guys ever, we're conspiracy minded tonight, so I don't mind sounding a little schizophrenic here, but about not being on the gold standard, the conspiracy of the Federal Reserve being founded, and that being the third centralized bank in the U.S. history. The other two times it was viewed as such a dangerous cancer on society that it was ripped out by patriots. But the third time it happened in secret on a little island outside of New York with 6 men in a room. Am I sounding like a crazy person to you? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but what the fuck?
Okay, so let me bring you back to, let's just do a little history to round out the night. And my favorite conspiracy in history, I think last time when we did Conspiracies 101, we talked about the very first conspiracy on U.S. soil, the plot to kill George Washington, which was thwarted and the men were executed. Awesome story. Definitely recommend that. Go to our Patreon, 2 Cats, 1 Dog Patreon. Check that out. It was a really good episode. Did a lot of research for it. One of the most major ones in the U.S. history was the Federal Reserve. I mean, think about what do you guys know about the Federal Reserve? Just like honestly, like, and I know it might be a tough question. I'm not trying to bait you. I'm just genuinely asking what you know about the Federal Reserve, like what its place is in our society, in our government.
Practically nothing.
Money.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that'd be like,
You know, like, yeah, I'm a big old idiot. I really don't know what their job is. I know that they took us away from the gold standard, right? Which means that our money is just based on nothing.
yeah.
Just poof.
It's just
numbers?
it's called, well, they refer to it as a fiat currency.
Oh yeah.
So basically what's happening, I'm just trying to throw you guys off. I'm sorry. It's connected to nothing. I'm just like, sir, what do you think about the 1999 election of George W. Bush? What happened was in 1913, there was actually I believe it was 1912. It was 1912. And maybe even the meeting was in 1911, but then it took place in 1913. But I think it was 1912 that 6 men that were some of the most powerful men in the world at the time, but specifically the U.S. You got like a J.D. Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, and then like there's like 4 other people. I can't remember all their names. I mean, there's like 6 people. There's 6 old. Just imagine 6 old Carter Van Buren and Theo Von, because his family also, by the way, owned their old money. So it was honest to God, probably a Von in there too. But point being, they got together to create and incept what's now known as the Federal Reserve. This is a real thing. This is all documented. But these men all met there secretly because they knew that it was like they were drafting an idea for something that had already been done. It's called the national banking system. We didn't care for it. We'd gotten rid of it twice in our history. We've had 3 national banks, centralized banking systems, and the first 2 times we decided it became too powerful, much like the King George became too powerful over in the fucking UK, and we said no more of that, and we fucking fucked off over a 2% tax on tea. We said absolutely not, that they're too powerful, and that because of their centralized bank, it was too big, and it always needed and take, leaving nothing for anybody else. So therefore, we tried it a couple times in the US, and they said absolutely not. And I think the longest running one we had was like 20 years. And now the Federal Reserve has been, so 1913, do the math, that's what, 112 years that it's been around. So it's the longest running centralized bank we've ever had in this country. And what it does is it kind of acts as an intermediary between the U.S. government and the Treasury. But the interesting thing about the Federal Reserve is that it is not a government agency. It makes it sound like it because it has the word Federal Reserve, but it is actually a traded company. You could like invest in the Federal Reserve. It is a private entity. It is not affiliated with the government except for like what it is not like a sanctioned thing.
That's fucking crazy.
Isn't that fucking awful?
Yeah, that's fucking
It's literally because it's a business. It's a business meant to give money, the country of America money, and then the country of America buys that money at a certain rate, and it just kind of the money flows back and forth, and they sell more money, they sell it at a certain interest rate, the US government pays a certain interest rate on it, and they're the ones who set our interest rate. Like when you hear about the Fed getting together to set new interest rates, they'll set the standard and stuff. I mean, that's all that's told for us. And it could be true. I don't know. I'm going to sit here and claim to be a fucking financial expert, but they say it's really just meant to protect us as a safeguard. It was meant as a reaction to pre-depression shit. But think about the time that the Federal Reserve was put into place, 1913. When did the Great Depression start? 1923.
20s, yeah.
Yeah, 1923 was like the official start of it. So what they did was these men, They got together in 1912, came up with an idea for a centralized bank. They knew that the U.S. government wouldn't go for it, so they sold it under kind of a different guise. It's like, it's kind of like a bank, but it's kind of not, And exactly the details of that, I don't know. It happened a long fucking time ago. But they brought this idea to Congress and signed it into act on December 23rd, 1913. Guess what is happening on December 23rd? Just take a random guess. You probably know. What happens in 2 days?
Oh yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah. So Congress isn't there.
Merry Chrysler.
Yeah.
Merry Chrysler. Congress is not there. They're gone. They're in recess. So what they did was they brought this bill to Congress to sign. Woodrow Wilson was the president at the time, and he signed it at the time there was only 2 because of the percentages. It was required that there's 2 congressmen present when a bill was being signed into law. And there was the 2 required that they had minimum. No one opposed. So there's a total of probably 5-6 souls in the building on December 23rd, 1913. Sold our country to the Federal Reserve. And that's when that was created. They became the intermediary for all of our money. They took us off the gold standard. About 50 years later, it took them some time, but that was a plan that they had since the beginning to slowly remove us from this gold standard and make us completely dependent on them. They print the money. They decide the interest rates. It's all based off of nothing. It's a fiat currency, as we discussed earlier. It's based off of nothing. So they set the interest rates, and that money when they want more, they just fucking print more of it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm probably too drunk or whatever to explain this properly, and I'm not a financial expert even when I'm sober. But all you need to know is that having one organization control the money becomes a really bad thing very quickly, because they can manipulate the market very easily. They can manipulate the value.
Total control.
They have total control, and of course we're essentially buying the money off of them. I mean, it's bonds and like treasury bonds, and it's like it gets complicated. If you really want to know more about it, there's plenty of fucking resources out there. But all you have to know is that it was done nefariously. If it wasn't a nefarious thing, they wouldn't have done it in secret. They wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have passed it on the fucking 23rd of December. This is all, and again, this is all shit that's recorded. This is history. This is just history. This is not a conspiracy. This is just history.
The truth.
This is just the truth, and it's out there, and that's just what we allowed. And if our founding fathers knew that we allowed another centralized banking into our fucking country, they would, die. They also, if we told them we freed black people, they'd also be very upset.
It's true.
True.
So, we take what we can get, but they would not care for that. They would be like, yo, we started a whole country to get away from that kind of stuff, because it's manipulation. I mean, again, and I think to me, it perfectly illustrates why in the past 100 years, I mean, like I said, what happened 10 years after that? They promised that by doing this, they were kind of buying us out, and they would help us give a stable lean, basically a stable lean for the entire country that would allow us to not slip into a depression. What fucking happened? Tell me what happened 10 years later. And a lot of people, a lot of financial people, like history buffs that are like financial people, went back and they were like, no, that was a huge reason that we went into the depression. It was like because they sold out the country and that allowed them to basically buy out a huge amount of stocks that were like at a record lows and basically just short the entire economy. And then of course that always falls out, when they pull out. So
Gotcha.
I, again, probably didn't do the best job explaining it, but there's something nefarious happened financially. There's been a dark cloud in our economy since. It's been a strain on our economy ever since. And I would argue since the Nixon, Reagan administration, we've really been ramping up the tax cuts to the ultra wealthy. We've been getting rid of the capital gains tax, the estates tax, all that kind of stuff. And they manipulate the masses by telling you that you're going to be a billionaire or a millionaire one day. So do you want this to happen? Look at how much money they're taking from us. Isn't that crazy? When you're a millionaire, working your McDonald's job, after 10, 20 years, you're eventually going to be a millionaire. And then you're going to have to turn around and pay this shit. How do you feel? And they're like, I'm pissed off and I don't want to pay them taxes. And that's how we pass tax laws in this country.
Yep.
It's death by 1,000 cuts. We've been doing it for the past 50 years. Like I said, really, truly for the past 110 or whatever, but it's only ramped up in the sense that we've gotten off the gold standard since Nixon. And then they kind of they keep opening doorways to pave further and further to gouge out the money from the average American. You know what I mean? Like if you're not a wealthy aristocrat, you have no place in the society. And that's what they've been trying to set that precedent for the past 100 fucking years. If you really don't think that the people 100 years ago didn't see this coming, they did. They want this. They want America to basically just be the haves and have-nots. I mean, that would make them probably the most happy. And why? I don't know, because I truly don't know. I really would think the more people have more money, they're spending money in the economy. Thus, in my mind, it does seem like a silly conspiracy, because you would think that people having more money would be better for the economy. Right. People would be spending more money in these companies and stuff, but somehow it just doesn't work like that, I guess. I don't know. I truly don't. I'm too stupid to figure it out, the economy, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Stuff goes up and never comes down.
Don't like it. Don't appreciate it.
But yeah, but going back to we're talking about what was
Plastics.
Your conspiracy?
Plastic pollution.
What was it? The N-word conspiracy?
Yeah.
Oh, no, not this.
No, not this.
Yeah.
Ethan's gonna be like, I left and I came back and you guys said like 200
You guys
times.
said the N-word 200 times.
I counted. I listened to the episode. I counted. We're gonna be the new Nelk
how
boys.
we get famous.
And that
by starting by infamy.
And that's how I met your mother. Just screaming the N-word. Oh my God, he has such a way with words.
You gotta wear.
He has such a way with words.
Well, your dad.
I turned up my jack boots and I
We'll look up the Burger King
goosed
stuff.
my
We'll
way
look it up.
right
We'll look it
over
up
and I
after.
asked her
Oh
out.
God.
Well, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about conspiracies? I don't want to wrap up without getting your thoughts in here. I mean, what's your like? What? Because Epstein turned out to be real. I mean, that ended up being real. That was a conspiracy. That was fringe.
Yeah.
What else do you think is like what could be considered fringe right now, or has been, and then one day it's be like, oh, turns out they were totally fucking right. You know, look to your conspiracy buddy because they're going to be right on this one, kind of thing.
Bush did 9/11.
You think that's going to come out one day?
I don't know.
I think President Bush.
I just wanted to say it.
I think President
That's fair.
Bush really likes black
approved.
people.
Who does?
President Bush.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. President Bush hates black people.
Loves black people.
Loves.
Fucking, dude, I miss that Kanye.
I know.
Sitting there with Mike Myers just trashing the president on the United States. Fucking, it was so good, dude. Yeah.
Isn't that the one with Mike Myers?
Yeah, him and Mike Myers sitting there. It was after Katrina. And
He was
like,
so uncomfortable.
He was so uncomfortable.
It was so good.
And Kanye just sitting there like President Bush does not care about black people. And Mike Myers is just stiff as a fucking board, trained fucking improvisational comedian, actor.
Yeah.
Just doesn't know what the fuck to do. Like what he's looking off to the side like, guys, what do I fucking do with that? What am I supposed to do? Like do a bit. I don't know, do a bit. Do the Austin Powers. Do Austin Powers. He's like, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Bush totally hates black people. Yeah, baby. You want to shag now or shag later? Am I right?
He's
Doing Borat. He's just doing Borat bits. He's my wife. So what do you think about conspiracies, huh? Dude, what about the moon landing? Do you ever honest to God think about that one?
No. I mean, they had to. I mean,
You think they did
They
it?
did it. Yeah.
Well, you're just biased because your grandpa worked for the fucking moon or whatever.
Yeah.
He was employed by the moon. That's the conspiracy.
What did he blow out the O-rings of the girls that worked for it or whatever?
Oh,
What did he do?
God. So my grandpa worked for a company down in Cleveland that was contracted through NASA, and basically they were making all the parts for it. And
Which rocket?
it was the Apollo 11,
Apollo 11.
the one that went to the moon.
Yeah,
So
it's a pretty famous one.
Did you see Jeff Bezos? He just
You see this? You guys hear about this?
You just heard about this? Just
You
spent a
guys hear
bunch of
about
money
this?
to try and reclaim like the boosters.
Yeah, no, he
from the
did. He
Apollo
got it.
11. Yeah,
He got it.
Pretty crazy.
And actually, not to take away from your
pretty
thing, but
cool.
he put it back in the museum.
Yeah,
he donated
Yeah,
it.
he gave it to the Smithsonian.
No,
Or
from
the
fucking
Aerospace-
the completely
Aerospace Museum.
opposite thing that I thought he would. I
Right?
thought for sure it was going to end up in his fucking living room.
I know.
He's like, yeah, and I watch this while I jack off and look at my bank account every night.
It's coming back. Like,
No, they have it. It's already here. He recovered it. He's the first. He's the first because they knew
when did they do this?
like a month ago, weeks ago.
Dude, I just saw one of the. Well, I'll get on it here in a minute. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
though. I want to see that.
The one good thing he's going to do for mankind.
I want to go see that.
No, I would love for us to all go to the Space Museum. There's one in Boston
I've been
that I
to
want to go
the
to.
Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. So
Where is it? Where is that? Is that
That's
NASA?
in DC.
Is that like a? Oh, it's in DC.
Yeah, it's in
Okay.
DC. It's. I'll get on that in a minute. But the first thing is.
So your grandpa-
Grandpa,
Yeah.
yeah. So he worked on. He was like the main guy to work on all these parts and everything, and he ended up building the decoupler for the stage 1 fuselage. So the first one that detaches off when it's still in the atmosphere, like the first stage, when that
Yeah.
clips off, he built those decouplers that actually unlatch and everything, and then come down.
Gotcha.
So,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
You know, why don't they just make the whole thing out of the decoupler,
There you go.
so then it doesn't have to decouple?
Well, man, it's a long time ago, man.
He's like immune. It just deflects off of him now.
Yep.
He's just like,
I'm so fucking used to your shit. I'm so used to it. But apparently, like my dad, obviously he was there, and he ended up like they were all watching it together on TV, and like apparently Grandpa was literally just sitting like this, like just at the TV, just staring, just
waiting for that
staring.
moment.
And then he just see it decouple, and he's like, "Oh, thank God!" And he just like sits back and
yeah. He's like, if they fucking die now, it's not my fault.
Yep.
I did my part. Yeah, that I mean,
that's
imagine
the one.
how tight you'd be. That was before the Challenger though, so it's like they didn't know, but they did blow up one before the Apollo.
Yes.
they blew up one
Yes, they
before the
did.
Apollo, and they blew up 2 after, right?
I believe
Yeah.
they were tests too. One
Yeah.
of them was a test.
Because they never even got off the launch pad.
Yeah.
It just blew up.
Just
Like
blew the
I
fuck
think
up.
the liquid oxygen ignited and like within the chamber that it was stored in, and just blew up the whole rocket, killed everybody inside. It's a fucking mess, dude. Yeah,
What was that Tom Hanks movie, Apollo 13?
Oh, there's the one that because there's the one that like came that orbited because
Yeah.
we've sent it was between what 69 and 72 that we sent. I think 7 people have walked on. I think no, is it 9? And it was it 7 Americans or was it 9? I think 9 people have walked on the moon. I think it's 9.
Yeah.
But we sent like I think 6 manned missions out there. And then a couple, like one or two of them just orbited, and it just did a 3-day. One of them, the Apollo, I think 11, did the 3-day orbit, the Tom Hanks movie. Then they came back after and they got lost for a little while too. They're like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" And they were fine, pussies. But so I was preparing for this episode. I was watching a little bit of Joe Rogan. He had a guy on there. Because Joe Rogan used to be a very like famous. He was anti-moon, like he was a moon hoax. He was pro. So he was okay. Hold on, let me just okay.
He was a moon hoax.
Okay, he was pro moon hoax. Like
Yeah.
he almost thought like he kind of was like, yeah, it could be fake, and then he wasn't. He was like, no, we're fucking because he became friends with like Elon and Neil deGrasse Tyson, who would at least try to probably talk sense into him. And then not that, I mean, Elon should be the last person talking sense into you, but if it works, it works. And then, so he was like, okay, no, we definitely landed on the moon. And then with all the vaccine stuff, he's no longer like pro moon. He's now pro hoax moon. Now he thinks it could be a hoax again. Now he's
Gotcha.
back on the, I think it could
he's
be a
all
hoax.
yeah. He started out.
He's 360. He's 360. He's right back to where he started.
He's going back and forth.
Back and forth. He's wishy-washy on it. So, but his thing and the thing that I've heard a lot from people, because I just as a thought experiment, I think we went, and we've talked about it before in the pod, but it's one of my favorite things to think about, and I think it's more fun than 9/11 because not as many people died. Like only a few people have died trying to go to the moon, whereas like 9/11 was like a lot of people. So it's like I feel like a little bit better about having like a fun little thought experiment about the moon landing hoaxes.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the biggest things that he had a hang up on was the Van Allen radiation belts. Now he says that nothing biological has ever come back alive through those. And that's why now, like, we don't go to the moon anymore. We stay just below it. We stay like the International Space Station. Everything is like within 350 miles of the Earth's surface. So nothing's truly outside of that, which the Van Allen is like giant radiation belts, apparently, that kind of bounce off the Earth's magnetic sphere and act as like a hostile region in between us and the rest of the space. So that I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but I've read it many times before, but that's all moon landing conspiracies. Like that's like usually number one of like, dude, we can't get past, there's basically a line of no return. Like a biological thing just can't make it and you'll just die because there's too much heat radiation. Apparently on the surface of the moon is, and the heat or like in the direct sunlight is 220 degrees, like, and then I think Fahrenheit, and then it gets at its coldest about -200. So it's like really realistically, and on the top of the fact that you're getting pelted by shit constantly. They had it live streaming with like little to no delay back in the 60s before, live streaming from the moon to back to Earth in the 60s is fucking nuts.
That's
I mean,
insane.
again,
That is pretty crazy.
And so the guy talking to him was like, well, if anything, Joe, this should be like a testament to how crazy of a job. I mean, and it's like, yeah, absolutely. But it's also kind of fun to think about like how crazy it was and how we haven't done it since. And it kind of does make you wonder like, well, why not? And I could think that Occam's razor is like, because it's very expensive and it means nothing.
And there's nothing.
There's
exactly.
nothing.
Look,
They
we
just
brought back
go out there
samples,
like-
they still study them, but it's about that's it. There's not
That's
really
it.
much
There's
else to
not-
look
really
at.
Flex to, like
It's literally a big
Yeah,
flex.
it's just a
But
big
that's
flex
but that's
of the
also
technology.
again that feeds into the narrative of why it could have been a hoax to begin with. And Joe's pushback was like, well, now, yeah, it would be impossible to hoax because we have all these satellites, we have all this shit tracking and everything. You could never hoax it now But back in 1969, before it was littered with satellites, before I mean, you can easily just kind of get away with saying that we did it and just be like, yeah, we did it, and then just never, no one questions it because and I almost like as a thought experiment, it's like I said, it's interesting to like think about, but I know that we went, but it's like it's crazy. It's stuff that I guess I never think about because I blindly accept what people tell me all the time. So I don't know, but I don't have the data in front of me, but I know that we've sent a lot of stuff back into orbit and it's come back alive. So I guess I don't understand where they're coming from with the whole no one survived.
Yeah.
And I wonder what
Radiation belt
Tyson
thing.
has to say about that. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, I don't know.
As much as of an insufferable asshole.
We'll
as
have to
he
get him
is.
on the pod.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm sure he'll come. Dude, no
What else
problem.
has he got going
I don't
on?
want to come on your little Cum Boys podcast.
Cum Boys.
Your little Cum Boys thing. All right. Well, I think we've been recording long enough. What do you think about tonight? How do you feel about it?
I like it.
I like it. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
I'm
What
just
do you
really
feel about the
tired.
format, you guys?
Sorry, guys. I'm just.
Hell, you'll make it up for us. Don't worry.
You're fine, Holly.
He's gonna make it up on the way home.
They missed the wink. Hold on. Fuck off. There we go.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to send you guys off for the rest of your week. Enjoy your time. Have a wonderful night. Smoke 1,000 cigarettes. Do drugs.
Yeah, do drugs.
Take chances.
Put a crack rock in your butt.
Smoke All right, that's all I got for you. That's it.
Sniff a stranger's feet.
Yeah,
Ask a
thanks for
stranger if you
listening.
can see their piggies.
Yeah, ask a stranger if you can take them
Yeah.
out for ice cream.
Yeah, do that.
It gets
Ask
hot
a
out there,
stranger
dude.
to listen to the Two Cats One Dog podcast.
Ask
Yeah,
a
do
stranger to
that.
lick your little beehole.
Definitely do that.
That's most important.
No,
And then
that's not
stick,
important at all,
stick your
dude.
toes in someone's ice cream.
I don't think anybody should listen to anything ever.
Non-consensually.
CNC, consensual non-consent.
No.
All right, good night.
No,
guys.
just
goodbye. Goodbye. I'm including this at the end. This is our little snacks. I got us these waffle things. They're really good. I don't know the brand name. They're from Aldi. Huh? You need a drink? Here. I think this will make it better. They're really good.
I know exactly what waffles these are.
I'm obsessed with them. I found some places where you can get them because these came out of the freezer. I found like dry versions where you can just get them like room temp. Yeah. But yeah, these ones come in the freezer. This is the second brand that I've tried, but I like that they're sweet, they're sugary. I want to make a McGriddle with one of these one day.
Uptown Grill, dude. They make a waffle with grease pizza.
I want to make it myself. I don't have to go in anywhere.
I don't blame you.
That's why I'm cooking here or eating at Mulligan's because I'm so sick of fucking paying restaurant prices for everything. It reminds me of Auntie Anne's dough. Yeah. Because I used to work at Auntie Anne's, and the cinnamon sticks that we'd make, kind of like this.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. We're gonna get some Two Cats mukbang going on here.
I'm literally gonna put this at the end of the episode. This is where I'm at. I'm trying to push away all of our audience. Anybody still listening? I hope you fucking die. I hope you die. You go to hell and you die.
Go to hell. You go to hell and you motherfucking die.
Oh yeah, these waffles are good. I hope that you guys are really jealous. I hope if you're listening right now, you're kind of hungry.
You're like, I really fucking want a waffle.
Yeah, and you can't do anything about it. Like
Yeah, these waffles
it's like
slap.
2 a.m, or like you're drunk and you can't do there's no DoorDash, there's no way to get food, you have no food, and you just suffer.
Just go eat that peanut butter.
Suffer.
In your cupboard.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, I want you to lower your standards and then go back to your kitchen and find something to eat.
Fucking
And that's one of my favorite parts of the
6-month-old
night
rice cakes.
is when you go back to the kitchen and you're like, all right, I've been here before. Okay, we know what's here. I don't want any of it, but I really need something. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna fucking whatever's here. I'm just gonna make it work. You get creative, and sometimes it's your I don't want to say my best work, but some good work, some of my good work. Oh, I got a good jaw pop in there. You guys can hear my
Your
TMJ.
fucking jaw pop every time you take
That's
a
good.
fucking bite. Like legit, I can
trying
hear
to
it
put it-
every fucking time.
I'm trying to get next to my jaw. Charlie, stop! Don't, Charlie, get off the fucking mixer. Christ on a bike.
She's like, I'm DJ, bitch.
I'm DJ Bitch.
All right.
I'm DJ Bitch Sauce. All right, that was our waffle ASMR. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You guys got an extra 3 minutes just for that. That was our encore.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for hanging out.
Did you enjoy this episode? Then check out more at 999.network, Mid-Michigan's premier podcast network.